In the Presidency, Mondli Gungubele is on day two of his trip to KwaZulu-Natal's Harry Gwala district, where he's addressing service delivery. A development model launched in 2019 aims to improve service delivery by strengthening cooperation and government entities at national, provincial and district level. Our reporter Nkosikhona Duma is following the minister and joins us now live. Nkosikhona, good morning. Talk to us about what the minister can expect, or certainly what we can expect to hear from the minister this morning.
Well, good morning to you. We expect the Minister, Mondli Gungubele, to try and gain a sense of the development issues here in the Harry Gwala districts, whether it's on the southern parts of KwaZulu-Natal, on the east it borders the Ogu district municipality, on the west it borders Lesotho, and the south it borders Eastern Cape, and so it's quite a significant district in terms of cultural exchange, because you can imagine that if it has so many people around us that there's cultural exchange, but it also is a largely rural community. I will tell you that our experience even coming to this particular venue here was quite turbulent, because the roads here are, to say that the roads will be, misleading. I mean, it's just pathway of traveling really. But I want to put those questions to the minister to try and understand. Minister, you are here, it's day two, and what we have established is that this government is not really taking care of rural areas, particularly when it comes to the issues of infrastructure.
Thanks, Nkosikhona, and worship. I guess that's the reason we're here. That's the reason I started touring this place as my inaugural program of the championship of TDM, whose intention is to ensure that a coherence between local governments, national and province, that coherence optimally delivers. Like you have just said, there is an acknowledgement of challenges here on roads, water security, access to sanitation, and if you talk roads, you talk about potholes and everything else, and then unemployment, in particular young people. I've come to realize that not less than 45% of young people in the country, which translates into substance abuse, GBV, and all those sort of things which have become chronic problems for the poor, in particular in South Africa. This place is no exception. But having said that, yesterday I've been able to see some green shoots, in the sense that having declared themselves they want to be a leader in water service provision, already if you go to Bulwer, there is a way constructed there in anticipation of a big dam, which they say estimately will cost no less than 600 million. But already an initiative goes such a nature that way already is able to provide water to bigger area of Bulwer and Kopo. They have done what we call, and this way a sort of cleans water, rechannel it, and there's reticulation. And I'm being told it has cost no less than 100 million, but already as a matter of practice, people are receiving water they didn't have before, both in Bulwer and that area. Having gone to Kokstad, there's an area there, it's called an interchange, no less than 560-something billion. That's a green shoot in beginning to intervene that area. What's the purpose there? If you sort out that interchange, it has actually stimulated interest amongst the investors, domestic and otherwise, creating opportunities for our people to get there. No less than 70-something people have been employed. Again, if you go to Chopo, and then you go to Kokstad, residential units that have been established there to make sure that you cater for the low-income groupings. And in Kokstad alone, 35% of that project caters for no less than opportunities. Workers have got a portion of 35% belonging to as their stake, and SMEs 30% as their stake, and no less than more than 100 actually sort of workers being employed there, 200 units provided. There's quite a number of green shoots, and as national, we are here to ensure that cooperation between national, province and local government takes those green shoots to the conclusion. There's a huge work that has to be done there. One of the key things we have to combat together with the champions here, Babnqomalo and mayors of Mzimkhulu, Buhlebezwe, Kokstad and the Bulwer, together, one thing we must deal with is corruption. I was saying to some of the guys I'm with on the car, I said, once we deal with corruption, a lot of issues here are going to be resolved. Until the monies that our people pay as tax, that business pay as tax, that money goes to help them have access to sanitation, access to water, improve schooling, improve hospital capacity, create conditions for those who invest to invest. Corruption must be shot on sight wherever we are. So the point I want to make, the challenges are huge as I've articulated them, but they are green shoots.
Minister, I want to ask this question to you. It appears that this particular government has continued where the apartheid government thrived when it comes to rural development. I'm sure you are that you've seen here, you've been struggling with signal issues. Water provision is an issue as you've highlighted. There is corruption. There's neglect of rural areas. There are practically no roads. I'm sure these are challenges that you've seen. I was reading an article prior to this interview that suggested that this government will need in the region of over 100 billion rand just to start addressing these issues, which means you haven't really been focusing on rural development. So the question is, with the district development model, which is aimed at increasing population at national, provincial, and local government levels, do you actually have the capacity? You've seen that you suggest the issues of corruption. These areas are synonymous, but do you actually have the capacity to improve the conditions of the people here as a district champion?
Let me start by saying DDM, at its heart, is the capable, ethical state. In other words, bringing together all the capacity of the state, so that if you come to rural, let's be fair, we have not done well, but let me tell you this.
You have not done anything?
No, wait a bit. As a matter of fact, apartheid government never put electricity in the rural areas. As a matter of fact. So you can't say we've done nothing. In the rural community of South Africa now, all over, people are watching television. People have got cell phones. People have got electric kettles and so on. That's little, but it cannot be compared to what apartheid did to rural communities. They never had it. For instance, I grew in a rural community of Presidency. There was no electricity there during apartheid. So we did something, but there's a lot to be done. We still have a long way to go. And we are not excited about the state where it is now. We could have done better. We've acknowledged last year the state of local government. That's why even the government party said there's a barometer program which is going to follow how local communities actually contribute. Let me just also say this. Some of these local authorities, they don't have a revenue generation base. But if we work with them, we're able to see what they're capable of doing from the point of finance, of course, what they are not capable of doing from the point of corruption. So we separate the two. There are municipalities that do not have money. And when we sit in the DDM environment, we're able to see that in practice and know that what we expect them to do, they don't have capacity to do. But I want to repeat this. This government, in as far as working all over the country, will never be compared to the apartheid system. But there's a lot that needs to be done.
Mr. Gungubele, we'll leave it here. We'll definitely be catching up with you. We have been following the minister since yesterday. He's on day 2 of his trip to KwaZulu-Natal. He has admitted that this government has largely failed rural communities. Having observed this particular area, we can say that is absolutely correct in that. This is a beautiful area characterized by rolling green hills with natural water sources such as lakes, ponds and rivers. And the people here need basic services, access to water, access to internet signal and network signal. Unfortunately, they don't have that at the moment, but the minister has promised, just like this government has promised since 1994, we're waiting to see if that will come to any fruition.
Nkosikhona Duma, thank you so much for tracking that story.